Good morning, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. Today I'm going to come out to an area that's close to my personal space. It's an agricultural area, and I've shot some video here at a couple of different times through the year looking at animal sign and tracks, trying to figure out some places to put some traps. It's starting to rain just a little bit, but it's supposed to be on and off for a little while, so we'll see what we can get done. But stay with me, we're going to look at some areas that we've previously looked at where we saw some trails and some sign, and see if we can recognize anything in those same areas today. Okay, we still have some good deer tracks here. This is a little walking roadway between two agricultural fields, so we can tell that the deer are traveling from a cut over wooded area and a grassy field to a field that was planted in corn. Okay, here we have another game trail, once again going from a small field over to the corn cut field. Okay, here's another small trail going right beside that pine tree coming out to the edge of the roadway. I want to show you a couple of ways to tell that the animals have been walking through here. See this tall piece of grass here that's laid down coming out? That was pushed down and broken off. We're going to walk down this trail a little bit and see if I can find some sign to show you that animals have been in here recently. Now it's been raining, so the ground's pretty soft, so we should have a good chance of picking up something. Okay, here we go. It's the small details. Right here, see if I can get it in frame. See this leaf standing up? Leaves don't normally lay down like that. When you see one that's pushed down and standing up, it's a little bit easier to tell it when the sun's out. You can catch the shadows on them. But these are the things you're looking for, disturbed areas. As we come on up the trail a little bit, we can see this stick here. This stick has been broken off, and you can see where something has rubbed up against it. There's one little piece of hair there. I can't tell what that is. Well, here's a footprint right there. I'm gonna dig down in that just a little bit. That looks like, I can't tell if that's coon or possum. I'll walk up here and see if we can see anything else. Okay, the trail we were on branches off. A larger animal trail goes that way. Small animal trail goes that way. I've got a tree here that's been rubbed by deer, and I've got deer print along this trail, and right here we have a canine print right beside a deer print. So it looks like some type of canine, maybe coyote, deer, and there's definitely some other prints here, but they're so light I can't make them out. Once again, I still can't tell if it's coon or possum. Now this is neat a little further up the trail because you can see prints facing both directions, so we know that the deer are moving back and forth down this same trail. Okay, coming off of one of the forks of that trail, it widened out again, and here you can see a leaf that's been kicked up. You can see this little small root here that's been scuffed up, and right there is a possum track. So possums have been digging in here. Looks like the animals are using the edge of this field, and they're walking along the edge, staying close to cover. Here we've got plenty more prints, and it's going into a very well worn trail right through there. So we're going to walk up this trail a little bit and see what we can find other than deer print. Okay, here we got a little bit of scat, and looky here. A big old earthworm. There's some good bait for you. A little scat on the trail. Here we've got another fork in the trail. The one's going this way. And here's some fresh deer scat. And the trail branches off, and that's the way we came from. right through there. Alright, here's another pile of deer scat, and that's pretty much the last deer scat I'm going to show you, because right there's another one. There are 9 piles of scat on this trail, and this trail has forked 4 times going from one field to the other. Okay, right on the edge of that short grassy field we have some scat, and this looks like rabbit. You can tell because it's a lot smaller and it's rounder than the deer scat. Okay, this is pretty cool. Here's some coyote tracks, and look, there's more than one, because right over here beside it there's some more coyote tracks, but they're much smaller. So this was a couple of them that came through this area. Alright, here you can tell, see the leaves standing up? That twig right there, actually it's a piece of weed that's been disturbed, and right there is a fox print. Okay, here's what we're looking for. Going back into these briars here, there's an established trail, well worn, and I just saw some rabbit scat, which is right there, and you can tell that leaf is disturbed. See how it's standing up, just like I showed you that other one, and it's right by that scat. So that rabbit probably put his feet down right there when he did his business. So here we have another good place to set up a rabbit snare or trap. And right here, very hard to see, but that's a groundhog, and I know it's groundhog because they lead right here, and there's his hole. I kept following that fox trail out towards that field. It's just grassy, and found this area where it looks like a bird has been consumed, but the grass makes it hard to see a track. But some of these here, they're very hard to see. They're not coming up on camera, but it does look like it's fox. Okay guys, that's going to conclude our walk for today, so let's talk about what we learned. I've come back to an area now after hunting season that I have scouted both spring, summer, fall, pre-hunt, and now after hunting. And I've gone back to those same areas that I've seen signs and tracks and trails before. And the way I remember them is I simply label them on my map. I scout that area out. But if you're scouting it for the first time, what I do is I try to concentrate on edges, whether it be fields, marshes, waterways, whatever you have that's an edge, an area that you can walk but you don't have to move brush out of the way. And I start looking for my sign there. And then I start following the trails and looking for areas where they Y off. If I lose the trail, or if I want to find a smaller concentration, or if I want to look for a smaller trail where smaller animals are that would be easier to trap, I start walking a circle pattern or a half moon pattern, getting larger and larger as I go out until I find those signs in those areas that I think would benefit me the most by setting up a trap, a snare, or even setting up a hunting situation. So thanks for joining me while I was out here today. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. God bless.